Okay, hi parents. This is John from Learning Out of the Box, and the reason why we are doing this is because in this afternoon, the Prime Minister announced that there'll be home-based learning for the next 3 weeks. Yeah, so we parents have actually started to have a first taste of it on last Wednesday. Yeah, probably drove some of us crazy, and now we're going to face another 3 weeks of home-based learning. Yeah, so I think there are some structures to it that you can make it easier for you. So today in this call, we have invited a fellow parent. Her name is Janine, and she's going to share with us her experience. Yeah, how was it? And then probably she can share with us what didn't work so well for her and what worked so well. And if you have to do it again, um, how will it be like for you? Yeah, or what will you change? Yeah. Okay. So Janine, the floor is
Right.
yours. Yeah.
And hello, hi parents. I'm Janine, and before I begin, I really want to thank John for inviting me to this chat with him about how to survive home-based learning. I think the important thing is that I know I'm not alone. Yeah. So yes, I'm Janine. I have two kids. My daughter is in primary three, and my son is in K2. So thankfully, last Wednesday, or this Wednesday that just passed, I only had to deal with one at home. But next week onwards, we'll have to deal with two. Yeah. So it is really a very daunting experience. Although we had online learning before, in previous years, during PSLE marking days and all, the intensity is not as high. That is what I felt. The difference with this Wednesday's home-based learning, because all of a sudden you have like all subjects, coming together. And my daughter is in P3. They are the first batch without exams in P1 and P2. So I was actually dealing with a huge jump coming from P2 to P3. And before I could even settle down, and then we have this home-based learning thing. And well, I thought that, okay, like, it's only, a couple of weeks, like one time only. Who knows, today it's full-fledged. Yeah. So yes, my experience this Wednesday. Firstly, I think it's a culture shock, a huge change, right? And a lot of challenges that I face, and a lot of things I learned about my girl and myself too. I think firstly, one of the big challenge is getting into the mood of things, or getting into the swing of things. Right? Yeah. So my daughter, it's school holiday. It's a it's a break day. So, you wake up late, dilly dally, and she was like, "Yeah, there's no school. It's okay. Take my time. Let me have my breakfast and chill first." So that was really a big challenge in the beginning, not being able to get into the swing of things. Then once we managed to get that in, then come all the technical problems. I think because the entire cohort of primary school students are trying to go onto SLS and all the websites. I think most parents face that as well. It was quite frustrating trying to online and stuff like that. Yeah, and I think also I really pay tribute to the teachers for getting ready all the home-based learning stuff. However, there's also a lot of blind spots. Some of the instructions are not so clear, and we were trying to figure out where to click, what exercise to do, and things like that. So that was really the beginning before all things start challenge, right? The second challenge was the every 5 seconds I hear mama, like mama this, mama that.
Sounds
It almost
familiar.
drove me crazy. And yeah, and I think 5 seconds is a bit of exaggeration lah, but it sure feels like that. Yeah, so for a few mama there, and suddenly became a
Yeah.
subject, so I almost lost my cool. Then on my mind, in my visualization was, should I use the cane or should I take out earplugs? Things like that. Yeah, and it was really a test of patience during that.
Mm.
Uh,
Yeah. Okay. And I think yeah, breaking out. Yeah.
yeah.
Is
Yes.
is your connection
Oh,
on
okay.
5G?
Yeah, it is on
It is
5G.
okay. Probably I just add a bit,
Yeah.
probably also to build on what you have shared. Yeah. For the technical parts, I think something that some parents overlook is connecting to the right internet speed. Yeah. So because sometimes when we put up our computer will connect to the first internet connection, which is the 2.4. Yeah, and so I think for parents out there who are listening, always connect to 5G because it really helps. Yeah, sometimes when it helps in the sense that it helps to load up everything faster and also with faster bandwidth, and the flow is smoother as well. Yeah, so there's so much of breaks in between. Yeah.
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 Is it
So
better?
Janine, I think on my side, I'm not sure is it my side or your side. Okay, is start to lag. Start to lag.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Are you in a
can.
place that you're far away from your router, or
Yeah,
is it
probably.
me? Yeah.
But for my side, you are very clear and smooth.
Okay, okay.
So,
Yeah.
mm,
So I think what right now we are displaying what will possibly happen for home-based learning when the teachers start to lag off or things start to break because simply because the laptop is quite far away from the router. Yeah. So all of these are the things that we don't take notes when our children are in school.
right.
Yeah. Yeah. Never mind, just add just feel
Mm,
free to add on because the Zoom will record now whatever you are saying. Yeah.
okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So besides the other two, I think the last challenge that I faced was also fatigue setting in. Yeah, because like we started about three. Yeah.
So about three.
So it's really a very long time and things like that, all the questions. So yeah, my first time, in home-based learning, a full 6 hours, it's crazy.
So it started from
Yeah.
9 and ends
So
at
yeah,
3.
yeah, correct. I mean, lunch in
Oh.
between lah.
Hmm. So how do you actually get a
It's
child to?
a lot of time could saved, of course, but trying to navigate through things,
Hmm.
and also trying, not to be complacent and then
I think I'm losing you. Yeah. Okay. So in the meantime, while waiting for Janine to come back, okay. So I think just to summarize, and a few things to take notes is the laptop must be as close as possible to the router. Yeah. And nowadays, people don't use LAN cable, and there's nowhere to plug into the laptop. Yeah, because nowadays it's all on Wi-Fi. Yeah, so that's the first thing that you must know. Um, and also be prepared that because it's the first time your child is learning at home over a long duration of time. Yeah, so sometimes I do hear my girls calling Papa every 5 minutes, and it's the same experience I have. Yeah, so another thing that you can take notes as well is also resting time for your child as well, because sometimes it can be quite demanding for the eyes. And for myself, I don't really give my children a lot of screen time. Yeah, so what I did is I make sure that she has at least a half an hour break after every 1 hour of screen time. Yeah, so and nowadays almost all the work are done on the computer. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So we do have a parents online, and if you have any question, just feel free to ask me. Okay. So I hope I am able to get Janine back. Okay. Just let me drop her a text. Yeah, because I think she got disconnected. Okay. Okay. So having said that, I still feel that before we start the whole thing, is also preparing ourselves mentally. Yeah, because now you become the teacher at home, and when a child has problem, the first one, the first person who she will look for is you. Yeah, so probably setting a routine is try to fix. You can tell a child, try to fix it by yourself. If not, you can ask me, or you can set aside like 10 minutes into her HBL time, and then you make sure that you have nothing on, and your focus is to support her. Yeah, because sometimes it gets stressful when we are doing our own stuff and when our children are calling us for help. So I think there's this struggle inside us, and it gets stressful. Yeah, okay. So other things to take notes will be also managing expectations, because online learning is not going to replace offline learning. Yeah, okay, Janine is back. Okay, connecting to audio. Yeah. Okay, so now you're back in another room. Okay, you have to unmute yourself. You have to unmute yourself.
Okay.
Okay, so just continue from where you left off. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Where was I? I was talking about fatigue.
Yes, yes, yes. Fatigue is
Yeah.
a big problem for us parents. Yeah,
Yes, exactly.
even before I think we parents sit down for HBL, we already feel tired.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, so when fatigue sets in, all the tantrums and everything start coming in lah. Yeah, so these were the very biggest, like the biggest challenges that I faced in the first HBL, and I'm sure a lot of parents feel the same as well. Yeah. So I mean, if I can share a couple of things that I thought worked for us and what didn't work. Um, well, I think initially when I tried to get her into the swing of things, like she wanted to stay in her PJs and all because it's comfortable. I was like, no, get out of your PJs. But we have some arguments and stuff, and I relented. I was like, okay, you can just change your top, keep your bottom. Compromise, right? Then
Yeah.
yeah, but I think like while that got into a little bit of the setup, but I guess moving forward, really have to get them conditioned. Like the environment is important.
Mm.
Yeah. Then I think also getting all the computers passwords ready. Because it's not just SLS. There were like Brain Pop, SLS, 一知识, whatever. A lot of different websites that we have to go to for all the different subjects.
Yeah.
So like really have to get all the passwords ready and stuff like that. And also getting all the materials ready. All the stationery lah, the textbooks lah, like really setting up as if it's a classroom. I didn't do that like full-fledged. And that
Mm.
wasted a lot of time because then you have to look for the pencil, you have to look for the eraser and things like that. Yeah,
Mm.
and that caused a lot of frustrations between parent and child. Yeah.
Mm.
But I must say one thing is the class group chat was very active and it was quite helpful for this kind of time because their parents were saying what is the right icon to click and things like that. So it was very
Ah.
helpful to let me know that okay, I'm on the right track or I'm on the wrong page and things like that. Yeah. Then yeah, so but I think also that is like the beginning of the setup. But very important, I think, for all parents, and I had to repeatedly remind myself, is to breathe and keep calm and practice self-restraint.
Yeah, there are times that we stop breathing.
Yeah, it is. I like exactly like and once we do that, all the emotions get piled up, and that's when we start the screaming matches and things like that. Yeah, but I think we also have to remind ourselves that it is a time for us to learn about our children.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like there are parents who say that hey my kid finished everything in 2 hours. I was like, oh my god, 2 hours, I'm not even one subject done. I,
Mm.
yeah, and but it's a good opportunity for me to understand what areas my child is weak in, because we don't get to see that when they are in school, right? So we know what kind of things that they're struggling, and where we can come in as parents who help. So, like your community are parents who want to teach their kids, right? Who are involved parents. So this is really an opportunity for us to do that. And we learn to become more effective parents lah, and improve our communication skills, I'm sure. So mindset is really important.
Is your boy behind you? I can see a head popping out.
That's the daddy.
Oh, there's a daddy. Hi, daddy. Does you want to join us in the Facebook? I mean, in this Zoom chat.
Yeah, he's trying to keep the kids quiet.
Okay. I mean, it's okay. We can just show our natural environments.
Yeah, they are in the room playing. So yeah. So yeah, and also I think like we also have to keep our sanity as parents lah. So look to your friends for sanity. Like halfway through, when we were really fatigued, we we're like, okay, let's have breakout sessions. Let's take a break. Let her do something else. But that's when I also turn to my friends and ask them, are you all surviving? Yeah, so the support community is also very important, I feel. Yeah, so that you know that, we're not alone. Yeah, and also for your child's sanity, give them a break. Especially for us when we took so long. 6 hours is crazy. So let them have breaks in between. I succumb to letting her watch TV because that saves her sanity and my sanity. Then there's no right or wrong. It's just what works for the both of you or you and your children. I think there'll be more at home next week, so it's a bigger challenge. Yeah, so this is what I've experienced so far. Yeah, a lot of things that I learned not to do and what to do. And also, I think one key thing that I want to highlight is sometimes when emotions get high, you say things that you regret saying. Like I was like, why your friends can finish in 2 hours and you're like taking 6 hours? Things like that. It's really saying without thinking lah. Then, but once it's out, you can't take it back, and of course you regret saying that. So we have to be more conscious as well. Yeah. So yes, I survived my home-based learning. I'm still alive.
And you have another 30 days more to try.
Yeah, boy. Oh my goodness. I hope all of us become stronger parents after that.
And I think what I find amusing is also something that parents tend to overlook is to dress up for the school, even though it's online. And I think there are times that sometimes our children they tend to want to sleep and wake up late, and they are only like probably one minute away from the home-based learning. So that's when parents have to fight with the child, get her out of the bed, and then just drag her off, and then even skipping breakfast.
Yes, exactly. So it didn't have that, my girls' school didn't have the live streaming for the first home-based learning. So it was all online and offline work. So all the more, dragging the feet and stuff like that. Even as parents, we're like, okay lah, there's a whole day. But yeah, actually it's a big no-no.
And I think that I can also share is getting the children to draw a daily routine, because I think just like school have their own timetable, like 9:30 to 10 o'clock is recess time, 10 to 11 is math time. So I think for parents who are staying at home now with your kids, you can draw a routine like on Monday what will you do, on Tuesday what will you do, and also managing the expectations that there's no need to fully follow it, and it's okay to even deviate a little bit, because if you have this expectation that your child will follow it fully, it's going to drive you nuts. That's going to drive you nuts. And then probably if it's okay, parents can get the children to write down all the possible websites that they have to log into and the passwords with the password, and then paste on the wall. So also fixing the study area for your kid, I think that will really help to fix the routine for the child, even down to where he's sitting. And this is a place for the child to study or attend the virtual school. So I hope that helps.
Yes. We tried, like we had the intention to do up a schedule, but didn't get down to doing it. So I think that would help. At least there is kind of a structure a basic structure lah. Yeah, and then we have to be flexible about it. Yeah.
Yeah. What about, not sure if you'll help getting your child to do first and then fixing the time that's, hey, 6 p.m. before dinner time or after dinner time, we'll discuss what you have drawn up. Yeah, so at least it's like 80% done. Yeah, rather than coming together and then let's see what we can do about it. Yeah, sometimes I know,
Right.
being a parents, we want to do with them, but it's also add on to the stress of doing together and then expecting it to finish within a short time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there any other interesting thing that happened elsewhere, or something that's was mind blowing for you? Yeah.
I think not like exceptionally mind blowing yet. I hope. Yeah. But yeah, it was more like how to manage the frustrations.
Mm.
Yeah, and I think as parents also we need to tell ourselves that we are not perfect, and neither
Mm.
are our children. Right? Yeah. So also set the expectations reasonably lah. Yeah, and they're gonna be stuck with us for 1 whole month.
Mm.
So I think we have to make the environment pleasant as well. So yeah, when the news came out today, my daughter was like, "Yeah, I don't have to wake up early, but oh my goodness, I have to be stuck with you."
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think yeah, a lot about I think I learned a lot about myself, like, and
Mm.
also caused me like also lead me to do a lot of self-reflection, like about
Mm.
how I approach my children and things like that. But I will say, in school you have subject teachers
Mm.
to guide
Yeah.
the kids, right? But at home you are the jack of all trades.
Mm.
So I think it's, for parents who want to be more involved and who wants to be more supportive of their kids, it doesn't, take a lot of effort to read up at first. Yeah, so instead of like trying to look for the answers when they face problems and they start asking you,
Mm.
we can always do our own pre-revision first lah.
Mm.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be like in-depth like the teacher, but at least we know what subjects that they're going to be dealing with.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't do that, so I thought that that would have helped, because when she asked for help, then I was like, okay, which chapter is it?
Mm. Mm. Yeah.
I don't know what you think of that. Yeah.
This will help parents who wants to be involved, and I guess some parents have already brought back their large chunk of work from the office. Yeah, so probably they may not have the luxury of time like what other parents do. Yeah, so what I can suggest is we can definitely okay. I was talking to my wife, like for example, can I have this block of time for my own work? So I will lock myself in the room while she entertains the kids, and then we will swap. Yeah, and I think what can be helpful for some parents will be like there's EMS and mother tongue, and then we can see which subject can the child self-study, and that itself can take out a bit of load from us parents. And then if let's say EMS, the child can do math by herself, leaving E and S. So maybe mommy can take English if she wants to, and daddy can take science. Yeah. So I think we are just like the different subject teacher in the school now. Yeah.
Right.
And for mother tongue, probably she can do a bit of self-study like spelling, and then while mommy spend a bit of time just to make sure that she her writings are neat. She understand how to read the words and do formation of sentences. Yeah. So I think there's a different degree of work beside delegating who do what. Yeah, which should include a kid as well in the form of self-study. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Any last thing to summarize before we end off?
So I just want to say that I think this is going to be a pretty long stretch for us parents. So really to be kind on parents ourselves and also on our kids. Yeah, and really just breathe and keep calm.
All right. Okay. So
Right.
thanks so much for your time. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you,
I think
John.
it's going to help many parents, because I think you also shared things like the attire for home-based learning, which I think some of us may overlook. Yeah, because we are so comfortable on being at home that we tend to overlook all this, like even changing the speed to 5G and placing the laptop near the router.
Right.
There are things like that. Okay.
Yeah.
So great. So we'll come to the end, and then I'm going to press stop.
Okay.